Hello, my name is Simon Medwin from Insurance Compliance Services. Today I'm going to talk to you about consumer credit regulation. The FCA will take over consumer credit regulation from the Office of Fair Trading on the 1st of April 2014, and strict new requirements will be imposed on all consumer credit firms. The FCA has more regulatory muscle, more information about firms, and more resources than the OFT. It is also able to scrutinise the integrity and competence of individuals through the approved persons regime. The FCA therefore has the potential to quickly address problems which might cause consumer detriment and deal with firms that breach the rules. A new requirement will be affordability checks to be conducted for every credit agreement to ensure that only consumers who can afford a loan can get one. This could result in insurance intermediaries, on behalf of lenders, having to ask more specific questions about the financial standing of applicants. The FCA proposes to differentiate between higher risk and lower risk consumer credit activities. The proposed higher risk activities include consumer credit lending and credit broking. Firms carrying on higher risk activities will have to apply for full permission. This means they will need to provide more information to the FCA than firms requiring limited authorisation. Their fees will be higher and they will be required to meet minimum capital resource requirements. Some insurance intermediaries go further than introducing customers to sources of credit, and they provide instalment facilities on their own account. The FCA regime for lenders will be considerably more extensive and potentially expensive for them. Firms therefore need to look carefully at the regulatory implications of their lending practices. Providing or arranging consumer credit without an appropriate licence is a criminal offence and can result in a fine and/or imprisonment. And businesses cannot legally enforce a credit agreement if they are not correctly licensed. Once they are fully authorised for credit broking, firms will be able to appoint ARs, appointed representatives, to carry out consumer credit activities on their behalf. This is not possible whilst the firm operates under the interim permission. The reporting arrangements for consumer credit firms will be handled via the existing Gabriel electronic reporting system at the same time and based on the same reporting periods as for the RMAR. All consumer credit activities will become covered by the compulsory jurisdiction of the Financial Ombudsman Service, but not that of the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. Firms undertaking credit broking activities should plan for higher regulatory costs as a result of FCA regulation. The final rules for consumer credit regulation, which are due to come into force on 1st of April 2014, will be confirmed by the FCA in a policy statement in February or March. A transitional period, proposed at 6 months, will apply from the date the rules come into force. The final rules have not yet been published, but they will come into force in April, and the transitional period is short. Firms could therefore prepare themselves by analysing their business model to decide what form of authorisation will be required in future and to ensure the correct permissions are obtained, checking current OFT authorisations and applying for interim FCA permission if they have not already done so, liaising with their credit providers regarding compliant procedures, information and promotional material, separately recording details of income from premium credit, including all fees and commission, and finally referring to the draft conduct of business rules for credit brokers to identify shortcomings in current procedures.